Thank you, Madam Speaker. Ladies and gentlemen, when I was a little boy, I grew up in Georgia, and back in the late 70s, early 80s, we had things called the chain gangs in Georgia, and I believe they probably had those here. And I remember driving down a winding road in Georgia, and my dad, I was probably 4 or 5, I'll never forget it, there was a group of men on the chain gang, and they were working on the side of the road. My dad looked at me and he said, "Son, one day, if you don't learn to mind me and your mom, you'll be on that chain right there." And it had a major impact to me. And you remember when you're growing up, you're like, I will never do what my parents do. And then you have children. There was a road crew cleaning up on Cobb County not long ago, and I looked at my children and I said, "Son, if you don't learn to mind your mom and dad, you're going to be cleaning up the trash on the side of this road." And I was like, holy smokes, I've become my dad. You know, a lot of times it's easy for those of us who have had good parents or are trying to be good parents, it's easy for us to expect more out of everybody. But what I'm trying to do today is, how about the children who grew up in a majorly dysfunctional family that didn't have a dad or a mom to explain to them what's right from wrong? How about the children who grew up with no parents? How about the child who grew up with a parent that raped them or beat them or abandons them? How about the children who were never taught right from wrong, and when later on in their life they found themselves behind bars? Ladies and gentlemen, from your district to my district and every district in between, we have people who grew up possibly with no instruction. Some grew up with instruction, but they made major mistakes in life. Our laws in Tennessee have made it to where if you have created a felony, that you cannot get a license to do anything. And unfortunately in Tennessee, we require license for everything from being a brick mason to HVAC, and you name it, all in between. There's 110 different type of license. Well, in Tennessee, we've made it, if you have a criminal record, you have no chance of that. But somehow, unfortunately, my own Republican Party, we tell people we want you to get off of welfare and we want you to stand up by your bootstraps. Well, what if you don't have bootstraps? What if society has tied you down to the ground? What this bill does is will allow people, if you have created a felony in your life, that cannot preclude you from getting a license in Tennessee. We took out all A felonies and B felonies. So I wouldn't say it's a victimless crime, because your crime could still have a victim, but we've taken out if you've murdered or raped somebody or brutalized somebody, all A and B felonies are gone. After that, if you still want to be able to get a license, you'll still be able to get a license. Madam Speaker, this bill does 5 things. The bill prohibits a license authority from denying or refusing to renew application for occupational or professional license. It requires the license authority to notify an applicant in writing prior to the denial for licensure, provided the applicant at least 14 business days appear in person before the authority. Number 3, it allows the applicant to request a declaration from a license authority as to whether or not they will be denied a license due to criminal conviction prior to submitting an application. Number 4, it authorizes applicant or licensee who receive a notice of denial based on criminal conviction to file a petition within 14 days of Davidson County or in Chancery Court. And number 5, it requires license authority to demonstrate by preponderance of evidence that the applicant or licensee prior conviction is directly related to the applicable occupation, profession, business, or trade. Madam Speaker, I renew my motion.
Representative Faison renews his motion.